Hello everyone. Today, our group would like to present about the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement or USMCA. Let's get started. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, also known as USMCA, is a trade deal between the three nations, which was signed on November 30, 2018. USMCA is in a free trade area in the economic integration state. The USMCA replaces the North America Free Trade Agreement or NAFTA, which has been in effect since January of 1994. Under the terms of NAFTA, tariffs on many goods passed between North America, three major economic powers were gradually phased out. The new United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement or USMCA is a mutually beneficial win for North American workers, farmers, and businesses. When finalized and implemented, the agreement will create more balance, reciprocal trade that support high-paying jobs for Americans and growth of North American economies. Next, the USMCA achievement. First, modernizing NAFTA into 21st century trade agreement. The USMCA reached an agreement to modernize 25-year-old NAFTA into the 21st century. High standard agreement. The USMCA will support mutually beneficial trade leading to freer markets, fairer trade, and robust economic growth in North America. Chapter key with achievement include such the intellectual property and digital trade. Second, strengthening North America trade in agriculture. While agriculture has generally performed well under NAFTA, important improvement in the agreement will enable food and agriculture to trade more fairly and expand export of American agricultural products. And for example, expand market access for American dairies and egg products, and moreover, significant commitment to avoid the trade distorting policies. Rebalancing trade to support manufacturing. The United States, Mexico, and Canada have reached an agreement that support North American manufacturing and mutually beneficial trade. The USMCA will create more balanced, reciprocal trade that support the high-paying job for American and growth to the North American economies, such the rule of origin and good market access. Next, let's talk about the timeline. On May 18, 2017, the government of United States notified the U.S. Congress its intention to initiate negotiations with Canada and Mexico regarding the modernization of NAFTA. The U.S. released a summary of the negotiating objective for the renegotiation of NAFTA on July 17 on 2017. On August 27, 2018, the United States and Mexico reached a preliminary agreement in principle subject to finalization and implementation. On September 30, 2018, Canada and US reached an agreement alongside Mexico on a new modernized agreement. And on the November 30, 2018, within the framework of the G20 meeting, Canada, Mexico, and United States signed the U.S. Mexico-Canada or USMCA Free Trade Agreement. Entry into force. Mexico. The Mexican Senate approved the USMCA on June 19, 2019. The United States. The U.S. President signed the agreement of USMCA into the law on January 29, 2020. And Canada. Canada Parliament approved the USMCA on March 13, 2020. The President Donald Trump said the USMCA is a great deal for all three countries, solve many deficiencies and mistakes in the NAFTA, greatly open markets to all farmers and manufacturers, reduce trade barriers to the US, and will bring all three great nations together in competition with the rest of the world. Next, the key differences between NAFTA and USMCA. First, Certification of origin. Under the USMCA, importer will no longer be required to complete a formal certification document. Second, the minimis of USMCA changes the threshold within which the lower value good could enter each country duty-free. The third, dispute resolution. USMCA changes some chapter in NAFTA, for example, Chapter 11, Investor State Dispute Resolution Mechanism to eliminate between Canada and United States, but maintain between US and Mexico. And Chapter 19, Anti-Dumping Countervailing Duty, and Chapter 20, Country-to-Country Dispute Resolution Mechanism maintained. Next, automotive rule of origin and regional value content. It must consist of total North American content of vehicle must be equal to 25%, up from 62.5%. Next, the dairy market access. The restriction on the import of U.S. ultra-filter milk into the Canada have been removed. The sixth, intellectual property. The term of copyright was extended from 50 years after an author date to 70 years. The seventh, sunset clause. The term of USMCA will remain in effect for a period of 16 years, at which time the party can choose or revisit or renegotiate those terms or withdraw from the agreement altogether. Last one, Section 232 tariff. The United States maintains the right to impose tariff under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, which authorized the President to impose tariff on the ground of the national security.
GDP in each country compared to the rest of the world. This slide shows the share of USMCA country GDP by sector. Services contribute the largest portion of GDP for each of the USMCA countries, with the United States having a largest portion of its GDP attributed to services. Mexico has the most agriculture and manufacturing intensive economy of the three countries in 2017. The sectoral breakdown of Canada GDPs was similar to that of the United States and Mexico. Next, the picture will show about the export and import partner and goods of each country in 2018. Start with the US export, US import, Canada export, Canada import, Mexico export. The last one, Mexico import. As you can see, the picture took the major part, both export and import with each other. These are the expected outcomes and impacts that caused by USMCA. Agricultural sector. Canadian agricultural and agri-food products will continue to benefit from duty-free access to the US, while the US will have new volume limited market access into Canadian, which the outcome preserve Canadian supply management system. Intellectual property rights. The final agreement removed a provision that had offered the Ducks 10 years of protections to cheaper alternatives in both Canada and Mexico. The agreement expands other protection, which is a major win for tech firms. Automotive sectors. The West provisions could raise costs for American car companies and car buyers, showing the auto market and economic goal overall. While many economists think this new rule will help some North American workers, they also warn that car prices might rise and there are some small cars may end up being produced in Asia, not North America, because they would be too expensive under the USMCA. Environment, especially allow protecting whales, fish, and other marine wildlife from pollution and overfishing. Employment labels under the USMCA move this chapter into the main body of the trade agreement, requiring more protections for workers, blocking imports of goods made with forced and child labor, Mexico labor reform, and increasing the minimum wage. Economy and investment protection against currency manipulations as market determine exchange rate. When the members want to negotiation to set up the other economic integrations outside USMCA, they have to tell each other before 3 months, and the member can prohibit the agreement That's gonna be happened if they are not certified. The USMCA has trade creation by themselves, but this can be trade diversions for others. Impact of USMCA on Thailand. The conditions of the USMCA agreement causing all three countries to rely on automotive parts from outside the regions to reduce. All of this is an obstacle to Thai export of automotive products and parts to North America. This potentially leads to a decrease in automotive parts orders from Mexico. The impact may therefore be limited if motor and parts exporters are able to find other export markets to replace the North American market, as most automotive and parts manufacturers in Thailand are mainly exported to Australia and Asia.
In conclusion, at the aggregate level, effects of the USMCA are relatively small. Key provisions in USMCA would lead to diminished economic integration in North America. Effects to the USMCA on real GDP are negligible. Most of benefit of USMCA would come from trade facilitation, measure that modernize and integrate custom producer to further reduce trade costs and border inefficiencies. The results show that the tighter rules of the origin in the auto sector and the labor value content requirement would not be achieved their desired outcome. The new rules lead to the decline in the production of vehicles and parts in the all three North American countries, with a shift toward greater sourcing of the both vehicle and part from the outside of the regions. This is the end of our group presentation. If you have any questions, please ask after this video presentation was end. Thank you for your attention.